guys, I'm Eileen. Today, I want to do a more personal video. I want to share with you the things I would do differently if I could turn back time. I know wishing doesn't change anything, but many times when I have a few quiet moments, I do wonder what my life would be like now if I did do these things differently. Doing these reflections gives me a clear picture of how I want to live my life now and be my best self. So I recommend everyone to give it a try, but do it in a healthy and constructive way. So if there's anything you would do differently if you could turn back time, please let us know. I think it's always interesting to listen to the life stories of other people. First of all, if I could turn back time, I definitely would have spent less money on shopping. And this applies to all kinds of shopping, whether it is luxury items, fast fashion, subscriptions, home decorations, and so on. Looking back, I really can't believe how much I used to buy. I never got into debt for shopping, but I certainly could have put my money to better use. The thing is, shopping itself is not evil. I still believe in paying for good quality pieces that will serve me for a long time, but that is quite different from mindless consumption. At one point, I had 2 Louis Vuitton mini pochettes, 2 coin purses, and 2 toiletry pouches. I had no use for most of them because I was mainly using the 1 mini pochette and 1 of the coin purses. Even then, I was still eyeing on more small leather good pieces. It was like I should buy them first and then worry about what to do with them later. I'm so happy my shopping habits are a lot healthier now, but sometimes when I think about the money I had wasted, it still upsets me. Now, some of you asked me if I ever regretted spending on luxury shopping, and the short answer is no, because I truly enjoy many of the pieces I own, and I'm glad I added them to my collection. But if I could turn back time and if I knew what I know now, it's quite possible my luxury collection would be a lot smaller. In the last few years, I worked very hard to downsize, so I sold many items from my luxury collection. However, certain luxury items have next to nothing resale values, for example, designer shoes, so it makes more sense to keep them, wear them to the ground, and just avoid buying more mindlessly. For those of you who are quite new to luxury shopping, don't rush into buying anything because your money could do so much more for you rather than just accumulating physical clutters. Another thing I would do differently if I could turn back time is to use my time better. It sounds unbelievable even to myself now, but I used to wake up really late on the weekends, sometimes at 11. I would then have a nice big breakfast with my husband and then started wondering what to do with myself. Sometimes we would drive half an hour to a shopping mall knowing I had nothing to buy, I just wanted to kill time. By Sunday evening, I would have this sense of guilt because I knew I had wasted the whole weekend. I know many of us work very hard, so it's absolutely okay to have the weekend to relax and unwind. But I just wish I valued my time more. This is why I am very intentional with how I spend my time now. I set priorities, I'm very mindful with the content I consume, and I try to stay away from negativity. On days when I feel unmotivated or uncreative, I'll try to stay productive by doing the more mundane tasks, such as cleaning the house, ironing, and decluttering. This way, I'm still making good use of my time rather than watching TV all day. I also make it a point to keep learning and nourishing my mind, which is why I've been really enjoying Skillshare. And I want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning platform with thousands of inspiring classes. This year, I've taken so many classes, including how to be more creative, how to be more confident, how to manage my personal finance, how to do meditation, and so on. Last week, I took a class called Simple Productivity by Greg McKeown. This is not the typical productivity class that tells you how to stay busy all day. Greg focused more on how to do more of the important things instead. I think this is a very valuable class for everyone because, as Greg said, We simply cannot do it all. So it only makes sense to focus our time and attention on the things that matter to us the most and then say no thanks to everything else. For less than $10 a month, you will get unlimited access to thousands of ad-free classes. So make sure to click on the link down below because the first 1,000 people will get the free trial of premium membership. So make sure you take the opportunity to explore your creativity and make good use of your time. Moving on, if I could turn back time, I definitely would learn more about parenthood before having Isaac. Now, there's nothing in the world that can prepare us to be a parent. You kind of have to learn on the job. That said, I feel like I could have done more to prepare myself a bit better. For example, I didn't think much of it when people said to me, you would never have a good night's sleep again after having a baby, and you wouldn't even have enough time for a quick shower or send a quick message. Part of me just thought, nah, it can't be that bad. I'm sure I can manage. Well, it was quite the opposite. After 23 hours of labor, I was exhausted, and I'm sure all the mums can relate to this. In the hospital, Isaac slept really well, but as soon as we got home, it just hit me that it wasn't going to be easy. My body was in so much shock, I was tired, and there's now this crying baby who needed my constant care and attention. More importantly, I was so scared even to do the basic things like changing nappy or giving him a bath. Now, I'm not saying this to sound ungrateful because being a mom is the most rewarding experience and I wouldn't change it for the world. But I just wish I had learned more about being a mom because I would have enjoyed Isaac a lot more when he was a newborn. Another thing I would do differently if I could turn back time is I would start making YouTube videos earlier. Even 10 years ago when YouTube wasn't as big as it is now, I loved using it. It's like the best place for entertainment, music, and information. At one point, I was really into trying out different skincare products. So I was watching a lot of skincare review videos. They were really helpful. So I thought to myself, seeing I get so much value from this platform, maybe I should start making my own videos to share my thoughts. I kept thinking about it for about 3 years, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I didn't think anyone would want to watch my videos. I was also quite conscious about showing my face to the world and putting myself out there. But then one day I changed my mind. I'm not sure what got into me, but I just went for it and I'm really glad I did. For me, this channel is a very meaningful side project. I'm really happy to have a platform where I can share my values and passions. More importantly, I really have the best audience because you guys are always so sweet and supportive. So I'm really glad to have you guys with me on this journey, and I really wish I overcame my fear and started this channel earlier. I also really wish I started investing earlier. If there's one thing I would tell my younger self about investing, it is the magic of compound interest. Essentially, the earlier you invest, the more time your money has to grow, because whatever you invest today will generate interests, which themselves will generate more interests. So the longer you stay invested, the bigger the snowball effect will be. If you've only started working, you are in a very good place because time is on your side. So make sure you take some time to learn and research about this topic because you will really thank yourself later. Another thing I would do differently if I could turn back time is to be honest with myself about who I was as a person. I don't think I'm an introvert because I do like to spend time with the people I care about. And if I'm close to someone, I can also be very chatty. However, I do enjoy having some time to myself and being on my own. In fact, I noticed I need quite a bit of alone time to function properly. This is why I like to wake up a bit earlier because I get to spend some time with myself before the world wakes up. So I like to be in my study to do some journaling, reading, or just listening to some music. In the past though, especially in my 20s, I always had that fear of missing out in me. So if someone had a party, I would go. even when I didn't really feel like going, because first of all, I didn't want to miss out, and secondly, I didn't want to let anyone down. So I spent quite a bit of time doing the things I didn't enjoy doing. I guess I was just like a lot of young people, in the sense that I was confused with who I was as a person, so I just followed the crowd. So if I could turn back time, I would tell myself that it's okay to be yourself and be unapologetic about it. Obviously, you don't want to be so self-centered that it gets in the way of other people, but we should never forget to attend to ourselves and not work so hard to be someone else. There you have it. Those are the things I would do differently if I could turn back time. In a way, the things I didn't do makes me the person I am today. So the fact I didn't invest makes me want to prioritize investing over shopping. The fact I didn't spend my time wisely makes me want to live a more intentional life. So I guess that's why people say we all live and learn. On that note, please don't forget to share with us the one thing you would do differently if you had the chance. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to share, like and subscribe. I will see you in my next one. Have a nice day.